I got reincarnated as the fake daughter, who's known for being pure as a lotus. To expose my fake modest personality, the female lead bound me to a mind-reading system. The female lead and I were fighting over a dress. I really want an orange, but I must stay calm and elegant. I'll secretly eat one under my blanket later. Mom paused for a moment, patted my head. She's perfect in every way. Except she's an idiot. Good news. I have a very rich boyfriend. Bad news. Someone else told me about it. Arranged marriage. An engagement made before we were even born. I thought about it. Wait. The marriage partner probably isn't me, right? Mom gave me a reproachful look. Seeing that Violet didn't have any particular reaction, she said, our situation is special. Let's just bring both girls to meet him. Well, didn't know we still had people living like it's the 1800s. He's literally choosing a bride. How arrogant. Mom smacked the back of my head. You don't understand. Maxwell Reed is young, accomplished, and has a clean reputation. He's the best choice in our circle. If you can be with him, I'll feel at peace. So the next day, we were brought before Maxwell Reed. The man looked at us, his tone tinged with interest. I heard one of you two is my future wife. So which one is it? Mom pushed me from behind, signaling me to speak up. I did speak up. Well, this is a bit complicated. I made a PowerPoint presentation. Would you like to review the situation first? Maxwell sneered, stood up and walked closer to me. No need. I've heard about you. After taking the real daughter's place for so many years. You, this unwelcome guest. He leaned down slightly, his shadow completely covering me as he continued. Why are you still in the Wilson family? I lowered my head silently, appearing deeply ashamed. However, his office chair looks so comfortable. But the most important thing is to maintain dignity. I can't ask for the link. I'll secretly take a photo and reverse image search it later. Maxwell. I noticed he had no intention of sitting back down anytime soon. Can I pretend to operate the computer and secretly sit in his office chair? So I held up the USB drive. Are you sure you don't want to see it? My PowerPoint is very detailed. Sitting on the sofa, I looked at the office chair with regret. It even has wheels. Wait. I must stay calm and elegant. How can I show interest in a chair with wheels? A backrest and clearly excellent ergonomic design? Maxwell calmly prepared tea. I will honor the engagement, but I don't want my future wife to suffer any injustice. So he pushed a teacup in front of me. What belongs to her? I hope you'll return it. Mom stood up. I raised Jasmine. She is my daughter. You're the one who brought up the engagement. Now the engagement is cancelled. We don't need it. Maxwell leaned back leisurely against his chair. Confident. I know you need something from me. What about that East District project? Her angry expression froze for a moment. Hot. Hot, hot. That's burning me. I picked up the teacup. I put down the teacup. I'm officially certified as pure as a lotus. Even if I get burned, I must maintain dignity. I quietly rubbed my hands. Power move. But if I drink this, I'll have to give in, right? I'll eat some candy and say I can't drink water in a bit. So I acted like nothing happened and unwrapped a candy, putting it in my mouth. When I looked up, I found that the tense atmosphere from earlier had completely disappeared. Seeing them staring at me, I reflected on myself. Was it because I didn't share? So I pulled out all the candies from my pocket. Want some? When I get kicked out, where should I set up a street stall? Where's the best foot traffic? Violet fell into deep self-doubt. Maxwell looked at me with a complicated expression. What exactly are you here for? This is called wait a second. My expression turned serious. After hesitating for a long time, I finally pulled something out of my mouth. What? This isn't candy. It's a compressed face mask that expands when wet. Just casually eating a face mask. No big deal. Wait. Even if I ate a face mask? I must maintain dignity. I was silent for 2 seconds, then said confidently, magic? I shouldn't have said magic. I should have said witness the miracle instead. While washing my hands, I secretly regretted my choice. When I turned around, I saw Violet standing right behind me. She looked at me wearily. Did you also come back? I turned to look around, uncertain. Come back where? The bathroom. Is she calling me that? Seeing that my reaction didn't seem fake, she frowned. Then why are you different? Shouldn't you have rightfully told him you won't marry? That all people are equal. And family shouldn't only be determined by blood? Aren't you trying to attract his attention? Don't you love pretending to be noble, then making others hand you what you want? Is that what I'm supposed to do? That sounds pretty difficult. Oh right. Even when being accused, I should maintain dignity. I said seriously. With what you're saying, I have no defense. Ha. She sneered. No matter what you say, I know your true face. This time, I absolutely won't let you succeed. I've been wanting to ask this for a while now. Why is she the older sister? She looked confused. No matter how you look at it, I should be the older sister, right? Oh, I remembered now. Mom asked me back then if I wanted to be the older or younger sister. I said casually, either is fine. Well, never mind then. The next day, I stood outside the front gate with my suitcase. But I didn't leave. For a long time. Violet mocked me. Are you waiting for Mom to come back and ask you to stay? So you can pretend I kicked you out? You might as well beg me. Maybe I could find a way to let you stay. Before I could speak, a car stopped in front of me. The window rolled down, and River Park laughed mockingly. Well. Isn't this Jasmine? Haven't seen you in days. And you're already this pathetic? Got kicked out. How sad. I see you keep looking at your phone. Who are you waiting for? Don't tell me it's your arranged marriage partner. River and I grew up together. He unilaterally considers me his arch nemesis. The main reason is that when we were kids, we were basically two neglected children. As a girl, I developed faster than him and was much taller. Then I tricked him into believing he was my son. He believed it. My bad. The kid was already naive. But I still teased him. Stop waiting for him and let's go. My mom wants you to come to our house. Violet suddenly understood. So you changed targets pretending to be pitiful just for him, right? Talking about sisters and all that. I actually wondered if I got it wrong. Turns out you haven't changed at all. What? River's face turned red. Pretending to be pitiful for me. Cough. I won't be fooled by such a cheap trick. Just like how he stubbornly denies being completely fooled. He just loves spinning in circles. They were talking one after another. And I didn't know which one to respond to. Don't gather here. My food delivery is almost here. You're all staring at me. How can I maintain my calm elegance? Whatever. I can start working soon. Hehe. Even while working, I must maintain dignity. I've pretty much figured out the situation. A reborn female lead, right? Definitely karma. From what the original character did in her past life. It seems like as long as I maintain my pure as a lotus persona, and don't get in her way, I'll be fine. So time to have fun. However, I don't know if it's forced plot guidance. But every time I work, I run into Violet. Violet took photos with the mascot at the mall entrance. Inside the costume, I weakly said, "It's not right for you to randomly touch my belly like this." The parking lot was too far away. She and Maxwell were trapped at a scenic spot on a rainy day. I drove up and stopped in front of them. License plate ending in 8966. Two looked at each other, hesitating to get in. I thought about it and handed them an umbrella. $20 each. Want one or two? The two went bungee jumping. Maxwell was expressing his troubles. She's like a ghost. Is it because I kicked her out? Is she hunting me down? Violet smiled. Impossible. You're overthinking it. The staff member next to them lifted their cap brim. Hehe. Go to the edge. Then I reached out and guided Maxwell off the platform. His scream echoed across the sky. People waiting in line. Wow. Listen to that scream. Is it really that thrilling? I looked at Violet. Your turn. Violet silently took a step back. Such a rare, thrilling experience. You should thank me. After countless dates, the two met at a coffee shop. Sorry. It seems I still don't have feelings for you. Even the suspension bridge effect didn't work. Sure. Violet quickly waved her hands. No. It's not your fault. As a friend, I'm grateful you helped me. But since you don't like me, why did you help me? Maxwell was silent for a moment, then confessed. I learned about what you went through. I saw how strong you are, how full of life. It reminded me of some things in my family, so I thought I'd help you. Sure. I see. Her voice dropped. So in my past life. Because I was too weak back then. Maxwell sighed. Sorry I can't be with you. But it seems like you don't have feelings for me either. Violet nodded. Don't worry. I promised to help you. I won't break my word. Sure. Clunk. A hand reached over and turned off the machine. Maxwell looked at me both annoyed and amused. That's enough. Let's talk. I pressed the switch expressionlessly. The ice was crushed into a smoothie with a sure sound. No one can stop me from working. No one. So he actually waited until I got off work. You have your car? He asked me. Yes, why? Let's talk in your car. I had my driver take her home. I thought about it and nodded hesitantly. Okay. But my car doesn't have a backseat. You'll have to sit on the handlebars. That would be so hard to ride. Can I ride my bike with dignity? Never mind. I'll be direct. I have some sleep issues. But I've noticed that every time I encounter you, I sleep very well. I want to hire you. After understanding what he meant, I was a bit confused. Does he mean I annoy him so much he passes out? But he enjoys being annoyed to the point of passing out. At that moment, River burst through the door. You can't agree to this. He placed something on the table, blocking our line of sight. River repeated, don't agree to him. Because you have to agree to me first. I looked at the pottery piece on the table, thinking about how he's been crazy about giving me these things. Over the years, I couldn't help but sigh. He really loves pottery. River froze. Then became furious. Jasmine, are you a piece of wood that only has two modes? On fire or completely numb? Me. There's another possibility. He is actually insane. River, Maxwell, would you honor us with dinner? Maxwell said we can discuss this in detail. My mouth muscle memory. Sure, whatever. River said unhappily. No. I'm hungry. You have to come with me first. Not wanting to argue with the kid, Maxwell was very good-tempered. I'm not planning to discuss anything shady. If you want, you can come along. I'll call and reserve 3 seats. The one who had been blocking us was finally satisfied. However, when we were about to leave, Maxwell stood up from his seat, swayed, and suddenly fainted. Holy cow. River was startled and quickly went to support him. Call for help. I nodded. Oh, I'll notify them to remove 1 seat. River, that's the call you're making. With 2 seats, should we just order a couple's meal? Would that be cheaper? Maxwell didn't stay down for long, but the impact of his forehead hitting the mahogany table was, in my professional opinion, a 9 out of 10 on the dignity destruction scale. River was panicking, hovering over him like a golden retriever who had accidentally knocked over a priceless vase. Maxwell, speak to me. Don't you dare die before I prove I'm a better potter than you are an entrepreneur. I stood there, my hands folded neatly in front of me. The picture of a grieving yet poised saint. Internal monologue. Oh, he's definitely out. His breathing is so rhythmic. Is this the sleep disorder? He just shuts down? If I leave now, do I still get the couple's discount at the restaurant? Also, that bump on his head is going to be the size of a pigeon egg. I wonder if I can charge him an emergency pillow fee since I'm technically standing near him. Violet, who had been lingering by the door with her mind-reading system active, suddenly looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. She stared at me, her eyes twitching. Jasmine, she hissed. How can you think about discounts at a time like this? He's unconscious. I looked at her, blinking slowly, my expression radiating pure, selfless concern. Violet, stress is the enemy of beauty. I am merely trying to stay calm so I can better assist him. My heart is a turbulent sea, but my surface must remain a still pond. Internal monologue. My heart is actually a microwave set to 3 minutes for a burrito. I'm starving. If Maxwell stays asleep for another hour, I'm eating the decorative mints on his desk. Wait, are those real gold flakes on the mint wrapper? Can I sell them? Violet's jaw dropped. The system in her head must have been screaming, error. Subject is too weird.To comprehend. The ambulance arrived, but Maxwell woke up halfway to the hospital. He didn't look confused, he looked refreshed. He sat up, ignored the paramedics, and looked straight at me. The contract, he rasped. Double the salary. You start tonight. Maxwell, you're delusional. River shouted, trying to shove a clay bowl into Maxwell's hand for comfort. She's a lotus. She needs to be in a pond, or a garden, or my house. Not your bedroom. I stepped forward, a single, elegant tear, simulated by a quick poke to my own eye, shimmering on my lash. If my presence can bring peace to a tortured soul, how could I refuse? It is my burden to bear. Internal monologue. Double the salary? That's $30,000 a month just to sit in a room while he sleeps? I can buy that ergonomic chair. I can buy 10. I can buy a chair for my chairs. I am the queen of capitalism. I am the lotus of Wall Street. That night, I found myself in the Reed mansion. It was the kind of place that smelled like old money and expensive candles. Maxwell was in silk pajamas, looking annoyingly handsome for a man who had fainted in a coffee shop 6 hours ago. He pointed to a velvet armchair next to his bed. Seat. Talk. Don't stop until I'm under. Set. I smoothed my skirt. I looked like a Victorian painting of a governess. What shall I speak of, Mr. Reed? The fragility of the morning dew? The philosophy of kindness? Anything, he muttered, closing his eyes. Very well. I began to speak in a low, melodic hum. To anyone listening, it sounded like a lullaby. Once, there was a secret technique for the perfect golden brown crust. You take the thigh, you soak it in buttermilk for 12 hours. Not 11. 12. The chemistry of the acid breaks down the fibers, much like life breaks down our dreams. Then the flour, double-dredged. You want that crunch to echo in the halls of your soul. Internal monologue. I wonder if I left the oven on at my rental. No, I don't have an oven. I have a toaster I found on the curb. I hope no one steals my toaster. It has character. It only toasts the left side of the bread, which represents the inherent unfairness of the universe. Maxwell's breathing slowed. For the first time in years, the tension left his shoulders. He wasn't listening to the words. He was listening to the bizarre, hypnotic frequency of a woman who was simultaneously a fake saint and a secret glutton. Suddenly, the door burst open. Violet was there, clutching her phone, her eyes wild. She had used her real daughter status to charm the butler and sneak in. Maxwell, don't listen to her, she cried. She's not what you think. She's thinking about toast. She's thinking about a curbside toaster right now. Maxwell opened one eye. He looked at Violet, then at me. I looked at Violet with heartbreaking pity. Sister, your obsession with my thoughts is concerning. Perhaps you need rest as well? The mind is a fragile thing when it wanders into the gardens of others. Internal monologue. Oh, she's losing it. The system is backfiring. If she tells him I'm thinking about the toaster, I'll just say it's a metaphor for my burning passion for charity? Yes, charity. I am a saint who toasts bread for the poor. One side at a time. Get out, Violet, Maxwell said coldly. And take your mind-reading delusions with you. Jasmine is the only person who has ever made my brain go quiet. He wasn't lying. My thoughts were so nonsensical they acted like white noise for his overactive CEO brain. 2 weeks later, the Wilson family, my fake parents, decided to host a gala to officially introduce Violet to society and relegate me to the status of a distant cousin. I arrived in a dress that was so white and simple it practically glowed with moral superiority. I looked like I had never even heard the word greed. River met me at the entrance. He was wearing a tuxedo that was slightly too tight across the shoulders. Jasmine, come with me. I've made a centerpiece for the main table. It's a giant ceramic lotus. It's 6 feet tall. It's for you. River, you shouldn't have, I said softly, touching his arm. Internal monologue. A 6-foot clay lotus? In this economy? The shipping costs alone would have bought me a lifetime supply of oranges. Where am I going to put that? It's a dust magnet. If I tip it over, can I claim insurance? Maxwell arrived shortly after, looking like he wanted to punch the clay lotus. He walked straight to me and handed me a small box. A gift, he said, for helping me finish the East District project without a migraine. I opened it. It was a diamond brooch in the shape of a wheel. It's an ergonomic chair wheel, he whispered. I know you've been looking at them. I felt a genuine pang of emotion. Internal monologue. This man is a god. He sees me. He truly sees me. He skipped the flowers and went straight to office furniture components. Is this love? Or is this just excellent market research? Violet, watching from the stage, couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed the microphone. The mind-reading system was pulsing. I could almost hear it buzzing from across the room. Everyone, she shouted. You think Jasmine Wilson is a saint? You think she's pure as a lotus? I have proof she's a fraud. Right now, she's not thinking about the beauty of this night. She's thinking about. She paused, her face contorting as she read my current thought. She's thinking about how the shrimp cocktail looks like it was frozen and thawed twice, and she's wondering if she can sneak a bottle of the vintage wine into her purse to pay for a new mattress. The room went silent. I stepped forward, the spotlight hitting my face. I looked devastated. I looked like a dove that had been hit by a pebble. Violet, I said, my voice trembling with practiced grace. If wanting to provide for my humble future is a sin, then I am a sinner. I lost my home, my family, and my name in a single day. If I look at a shrimp and see only the struggle of the fisherman, or look at a bottle of wine and see the potential for a warm bed, is that not human? The crowd erupted in murmurs of poor girl. And how cruel of the real daughter to mock her poverty. Maxwell stepped up beside me, his hand on the small of my back. If Jasmine wants a mattress, I'll buy her the factory. If she wants the wine, I'll buy the vineyard. What she thinks is her business. What she is my future wife. The gala ended in a disaster for Violet. The system she relied on couldn't account for one simple fact. People don't care if you're fake, if you're more pleasant than the person who's real. Later that night, Maxwell and I sat in his garden. The 6-foot clay lotus from River was parked awkwardly by the fountain. You're not really a lotus, are you? Maxwell asked, looking at me with a smirk. I bit into an orange I had indeed swiped from the buffet. I'm a survivor, Mr. Reed. Lotuses grow in mud. I just happen to like the mud when it's filtered and comes with a high-speed internet connection. The marriage, he said, turning serious. The engagement was for a Wilson daughter. You're not a Wilson anymore. I know, I said, looking at the stars. Internal monologue. Here it comes. The "it was fun while it lasted" speech. Well, I still have the diamond wool brooch. I can hawk that for at least $5 grand. So, Maxwell continued, I suppose I'll have to propose to Jasmine nobody. It's a lot less paperwork. He pulled out a ring. It wasn't a diamond. It was a custom-cut orange sapphire, shaped like a tiny, perfect citrus wedge. I stared at it. Is it expensive? I whispered. Extremely, he laughed. Then I accept. Epilogue. The dignity of the queen. 1 year later. Violet had moved abroad, her system, having eventually crashed from the sheer overload of trying to understand why I was still popular despite my chaotic internal thoughts. River had become a world-famous avant-garde potter, though he still sent me son-to-mother greeting cards on my birthday just to annoy Maxwell. I sat in my office. The chair was the finest ergonomic masterpiece ever created. It had lumbar support that felt like being hugged by a cloud. It had silent wheels. It had a built-in footrest. I looked at the camera for my Lotus Charity Foundation live stream. I wore a simple white dress. My hair was in a modest bun. Kindness, I told the 3 million viewers, is like a seed. It costs nothing to plant, but its fruit is sweet. Internal monologue. And by sweet, I mean the tax write-offs are incredible. Also, I have a bag of spicy chips hidden in the drawer of this $4,000 desk. I'm going to eat them as soon as I turn this camera off. Life is good. Stay pure, everyone. Stay pure. I winked at Maxwell, who was watching from the doorway. He just shook his head, a smile tugging at his lips. He knew exactly what I was thinking. And for once, I didn't mind at all. The end.